that was actually grafted by the Agricultural Institute in Assam. The cultivar is called P126. And so we planted several acres of that tea plant about 50 years ago. So it now harvests a very tippy, you're going to see a lot of golden tips as you look at the loose tea. So it's a orthodox, what we call an orthodox whole leaf, and it has a natural sweetness to it from those golden tips. So this is what we call a premium standalone tea. Most folks have it for breakfast with maybe a little cream and sugar if they like that, or lemon. But have you done some gummies using TGFOP, Molly?
I've used it to make gummies, and
or baking of any kind?
Baking some things. I was going to try kombucha with it. I don't know. It's because it is that sweet. This is like my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does have a natural, those.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that estate because with the hardy plants, they are so much better equipped to resist. The biggest problem in Assam are what we call air spores that are brought in by the wind, the currents. So a 50-year-old plant has a better immune system to resist those air spores. So they are usually more productive than the organic plants because they have a better immune system.
The organic has a better immune system?
So it looks...
So I put...
No, actually the older plant.
This one?
The...
TGFOP?
The TGFOP is, well, we grow that as sustainable. What you have is sustainable, but we also grow it inorganic. And I want you to be clear that the sustainable plants are hardier. The organic plants, because they've had no pesticides, they are easier to attack by an air spore because they don't have any of the conventional herbicides or pesticides protecting them. There's a spray that we use on organic plants, but it's made from like homeopathics as opposed to what a commercial grower would use. So this particular tea is actually going to have, I think, a little bit more bold flavor to it because the plants are older.
Okay, William.
So we'll see what you guys think.
Put the camera on me. No, just there. I'm there. Just, you can keep talking. It's just, I'm just trying to get...
Like that?
Right. So you can see where I put the 4 teaspoons of the tea in the pitcher.
Right.
And then...
Right.
I usually make mine in a coffee press because I make a lot of tea. And it's just the fast way.
Mm-hmm.
And it also lets me see the beautiful color that you get. And this is, this water is at 93 centigrade. And we'll see, you can tell that the leaves have a lot of energy in them because they're really dancing around.
That's what I was gonna say. It looked to me like they were dancing.
Yeah.
And I can even see it begin to change colors now.
Yes, it's not as dark as some teas are, but it's...
But if you do the BOPF next, you'll see a beautiful contrast between the two.
Right.
Because it's a much darker, maltier.
Okay. And we're supposed to wait 2 minutes. The longest 2 minutes.
That's interesting because some folks will steep that for 3 or 4 minutes, depending on how much malt they want.
Right, or the even, I know some places they go up to 8 minutes on their tea. To me, that's almost.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
But then,
I was going to say, wouldn't that release the acids, the tannic particles? I know that happens with our green tea. If you even go more than like 90 seconds, it releases a tannic that makes it bitter.
Yeah, that bitter. I'm just going to give it a little more energy here. That's when you're making iced tea that you'll let it steep longer.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, especially sun tea.
Right. So, where's my box of tea? Oh, well. You can see the tea. And I usually put my tea in a little tin, so I can measure up these in advance, and then for in the morning.
Yes,
it was a trick that I learned from a barista.
Okay. How much will that little tin hold? About 4 ounces? How much will it hold?
This little tin, it only holds maybe an ounce.
Okay.
But it's enough for one pitcher, and so I don't have to get my bag out and risk every time you open the bag. It's like little things can crawl in there, or
get exposed to air.
Right.
So
look, that color looks pretty good right now. So you ready for some tea?
Sure. It does.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't use a timer. Maybe next time I will. It's been about 2 minutes, right? Have we been talking for like 2 minutes? Well, I can show my box of tea. This is my. Can I edit that part? This is our Assam tea package, and I will put it back so it looks better now. I dropped it. But comes with the 4 kinds of tea. And
that's lovely.
Then there's the 4 little tins, and one of the tins has sugar, rock sugar, amber rock sugar, and the other tin comes with chai spices, so you can turn your Assam tea into a chai. Even though chai means tea. Are you ready? I'm ready. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you got a bonus. You got a tiny little leaf in there. But it's edible. You want some, William?
It's also good on roses. After I brew tea like that, I save the tea leaves and go put them around my roses.
So what am I going to put this tea in? I didn't bring myself a pitcher. So we'll have some of it that's brewed a while. I'll just set this over here. All right, are you ready? And I'm not going to say pinkies up because that's not the way to do it.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's 2 ways. There's the British way of drinking, which they say to sip it, but this is really hot. And so you can do the tea taster method, which involves slurping. So if you're classy British, you sip, but we're tasting tea, so slurping is acceptable.
Acceptable, yes it is.
Because you don't want to burn your tongue. That would not be good. It's really good.
Very good.
Okay, so that was TGFOP. And while you're enjoying that, I will get out the next tea, which is BOPF. Do you want to explain what the letters mean?
Sure. Broken orange Pico fannings, BOPF. The fanning is describing how it's cut when it's going through the processing plant. And a square, if you'll notice, you hold a little bit of it in your hand, you'll see they almost look like little square pieces of tea. And they do that so that it will go through a machinery well, like a tea bag or a ready to drink. BOPF is used in a lot of ready to drink recipes. So it's cut that way because of its use with machinery. And that's actually true for the CTC grades of tea because they are used in making chai. So they're typically rounded so that they will contrast the spices. So BOPF is, I call it the Russian, the Russian grade, because they love how dark and malty it becomes. And they will actually combine BOPF with another grade to make what they call gypsy tea or Russian tea, and very dark once it's brewed.
Okay, what's that? What is it saying?
What's saying?
Been fine.
I have I empty my pitcher, and this is the BOPF, which means, what's the B mean again? B, broken orange Pico?
Broken orange Pico. Broken orange Pico fannings.
Fannings, that's what the F means. And
Fannings.
so is this from the same plant as the?
And that's because of the shape. It's because of the shape of the tea.
And how it was processed? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so after all this stuff on, I probably don't need as much as the other one. I don't know, because
it's finer.
Right. It's going to absorb faster. So yeah, I agree. Three would probably be enough.
Okay, and need water. Okay, so our next, we have broken orange Pico, BOPF. Okay, you want to fill it up? All right. Let's see, even my son can do this.
Yeah, that's right. Good job.
So this water isn't quite as hot as the other one, but it's pretty close.
How full?
Keep going. Keep going. Go right up to the line. Lots of energy in this tea. Look at those little leaves go. Wow. They are so excited to be in their hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Look how fast that changed color.
Yep.
Put more water in it so it starts heating up for the next one.
Yeah, fill up that pot. And wow, that was fast. So do we need, what kind of time should we use this broken?
I would say 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
2 to 3 minutes, somewhere between 2 and 3 minutes.
Okay,
And
you're
you
gonna
set you a
start
timer?
Yeah, 2 minute timer. I don't have a microwave to punch it in. I usually punch it in on my microwave. Well, I hear there's an Alexa app that does that too.
Oh, I love it.
You can tell her to make your tea and time your tea. I filled up the remote. Okay, wow. Those leaves are very excited. So 2 minutes. What else can you tell us about where the tea comes from?
This BOPF was actually grown on because it's an organic tea, it was grown on Chota Tingrai, which is our organic tea estate that is the highest. You know, Assam is actually a valley that goes up toward the Nepal mountains, and so Chota Tingrai is the highest tea estate, and it's divided between what we call whole leaf orthodox lots of plants, and then there's another section that's totally devoted to organic CTC growing, and that's where the BOPF comes from, that section of the estate. So they each year they do a huge map, literally mapping out what section, what lots are going to create what teas. So that way they can plan the plucking and the processing. So they have to make a master calendar. And BOPF is always harvested in like late June, early July.
All right. Are we ready?
So it's when how you determine what makes a CTC grade like this is that it's the third leaf from the top. When you look at a tea plant, it's typically got like 5 tiers of leaves, and so the top tier, what we call the buds, and the soft tender leaves, that's what makes that FTG FOP one that you like. Mm-hmm. And then this BOPF is like the third or the fourth leaf down. So that's why it is going to be brew darker, because it's a hardier leaf. It's not a bud, it's a full leaf. You can even see it getting darker. Do you notice it's darker than the TGFOP we brewed?
Okay, no.
Can you see that? I can see it from here, that the tea's already getting darker.
Yeah, it's done. It's been like 2 minutes. Look at that. That's really dark. And so I'm going to put some of this.
It's going to be malty. It's going to be malty.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to take, so you can compare the difference.
Well, that's a good idea.
So you can put it, I mean, it's 2 different cups. When you put it in the cup, you can't see that much difference. Mm-hmm. Can you?
I see it.
All right, this one is the, you want to take a picture for me?
Sure.
Click. There's the button. Ready? So the one on the left.
Tell me one.
Go. Take it.
Okay.
So this one is the TGFOP and this one is the BOPF. Okay. So, and I'm going to put it in the teapot after you ready?
Sure.
I'll put it on my tray so I don't burn people.
Well, be sure and sip it first, because you might decide you want some sugar with this, depending on how much malt you like.
right? Because we steeped it like 3 minutes. It does look darker in the picture. And I haven't warmed up the teapot, so I'm hoping it did not crash.
We put a little and then just swirl it for a minute and then put the rest.
That would be smart. Because they say whether you put the milk in first or you put the tea in first, it tells your economic status in England.
Yeah, I have heard that story.
And it's actually true, I think. The queen, the way she takes her tea, she puts the tea in first, and then you add the milk. Okay, but but that was because of how they introduced the teapots. Because she could use the fine bone china, she can do that.
Mhm.
When you use
Right.
teapot, they will crack, and I
Oh, I see.
to cracking. So if you put the hot water, there's a thermal shock in your teapot. So it's always a good idea to warm your teapot before you tea. And I did that with that one because it's really pretty. This one looks more classic, more like a brown Betty. So what do you think?
I think it's great.
You like it?
It has a stronger flavor than the last one.
Stronger? Like,
Yeah. It's not as sweet. It's not as sweet, is it?
Right.
I think that's how you would. And it's maltier.
Mm-hmm.
it's more like tea.
Yes.
It has more tea-ish flavor. I don't know.
Yeah, right. No, I agree. That's a good assessment.
Is that what umami is? Umami? I'm a mommy. No. William says, "Hey, don't forget me." What do you think? What do you think?
You see, so you're having a tea tasting. You're having a tea tasting, so you're sampling it that way. But 90% of the time, this tea is used in a process. So it's going to be combined with other things like raspberry or spices. Well, in the gypsies, when they would travel in caravans across Europe, they would pick any of the wild herbs, like mint. If they found mint, then they would add mint to this, or whatever they found in their travels is what they would add to a tea like this. Cinnamon stick.
Oh yeah, I'd like to add cinnamon, or I'll put creamed honey. I have some creamed honey that's infused with cinnamon.
Oh,
Makes it really nice.
oh, that sounds wonderful.
Where's that at?
Yeah, I will do this as an iced tea. I like BOPF as an iced tea because I hate it when my tea gets watered down. I like that flavor. It kind of wakes me up in the middle of the day to use BOPF for an iced tea.